Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and today we're going to talk about the NBA Finals. So, if you watched the last show, I got to give myself a little pat on the back here as I picked Denver to beat the Lakers in 5 games. That was off one game. They ended up sweeping the Lakers. Got the broomsticks out. So, right about that one. And then I picked Miami in game 7. Right on with that one. Now, I'll admit, I didn't expect Miami to win 3, then Boston win 3, and it come down to the game 7. But I did think Miami would pull out the series simply because Boston has not played consistent the whole playoffs. They struggled a little bit in the first round against Atlanta. And then even though Philadelphia was a more of a matchup with them, they still had to go uh, seven seven games with them, and they were down 3 games to 2. So they just haven't played consistent, and it showed as they went down 0-3. Then they gave up. Then they fought their way back when their back was against the wall, but they couldn't close it out. So old man Nate knows what he's talking about a little bit. We'll see if he gets it right in the finals. So let's talk about the finals, a matchup between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. This is a matchup that some people thought in the bubble would happen for the NBA championship, but the Lakers was a little bit more challenging in the bubble than they were outside of it, because they were no challenge for the Nuggets outside the bubble. So the main thing I'm going to talk about 3 things that are going to be the deciding factor on who wins this matchup, and then I'll also give my prediction. You'll probably be able to tell while I'm talking about who I'm going to pick to win, but we'll see how many games I pick. So I think really the person is going to dictate the win and losses from this series is going to be Jokic, the Joker. There's really, he's by far, in my opinion, I hate saying by far, but he really probably is by far right now the best player in the NBA. And it's because of he has so many he has so many things he can do with the game, right? He's not he's not the best defender, although he can hold himself he can hold his own a little bit. He blocked AD shot a couple times with the Lakers, and so he hold his own against big men. But offensively, the dude is just unbelievable. Some of the shots he hit. LeBron and AD were like, "How in the heck did you hit that shot?" At the end of the quarter or at the end of the shot clock, just fading away with the ball way above his head where nobody can get it, and he's making them. So it's not just the end underneath the basket shots he's hitting. It's not just the wide open perimeter shots he's hitting. It's these unbelievable shots he hits that makes his game a step ahead of everybody else's. And probably the most impressive thing with his game, though, offensively, is his passing ability. For a big man, he passes like he's a point guard. I've already said that before in one of my shows. He sees the floor very well. He runs the point a lot of times. As slow as he is, he gets up and down the court quickly when he's got the ball in his hands, and he runs the point very well. So his passing ability is going to be one of the biggest differences in this game. Because what is Miami going to do? The Lakers try to double team him a lot, and it's because the way he scores. Nobody in the league 1-on-1 can stop him, and you got to pick your poison. Do you let Jokic get 50 points a game, and then everybody else just shut them down? Maybe. Uh, Miami's played some zone a lot, So do they go to zone? And I don't think that's a good idea. Not against Denver. Zone leaves wide open shots. Zone is easy to penetrate. So, but we'll see what they try to do. I think you'll probably try to see the double team, but that's where Denver excels at. They do the backcourt cuts. They do cuts it, and Jokic finds them, man. When you don't even think he's looking, he's looking. And then there's the wide open perimeter shooters with Jamal Murray, Porter, Caldwell Pope, uh, um, dang, what's another one? Brown, Bruce Brown. That's four guys, and I'm not, that can light it up if you leave them open. So Jokic is going to control this game with his shooting, his offensive presence, scoring, and passing. The next thing I will also talk about is the the rest. Okay, it has been a week and a half since Denver has been on the court. They actually had a longer break now than the All-Star break, which is a week long. And if you're not playing, you get a week break. And if you play an All-Star game or you do a couple of the activities, then you still get a 5 or 6 day break. So this week and a half break is the longest in-season break they've had. They are well rested. Now, sometimes that can be lead to rust. However, I'm pretty sure they didn't just sit around and eat chips and watch the Celtics and Heat play. I'm pretty sure they stayed active in the gym. I'm not sure that they may even scrimmage a little bit to try and keep active, but they weren't intense scrimmages like the Dream Team they used to do back in the day. It was probably just enough to keep them physically active and in shape for the games. So that's a big factor, though. Miami didn't get no rest. They went to 7 games. They've had so their last game was Monday. They're going to play Thursday. They had 2 days rest, 48 hours. Well, about 72 hours time you tip off. Man, well, about actually probably about 70 hours, 70, 69, 70 hours. But still, Denver's well rested. Miami is not. And it's been a long season. It's been a long playoff. Um, I heard Tyler Hero may be able to come back. I don't know if that was just a rumor or if that's true. I haven't really looked into it myself. I just seen somebody post something. I don't know how accurate it was. But other than that, they still got injuries. They're playing with Jimmy Butler, Adebayo, and a bunch of people who never got drafted. So, I'm not saying they've done an outstanding job. I gotta give it up to them. Miami had to do a playing game, had to play 2 playing games. Then the 8 seed upset the number 1 Milwaukee Bucks. Then the New York Knicks, and then the number 2 seed Boston Celtics. So they beat the 1 and 2 seeds. So they had a tough road. They did an outstanding job, and congratulate the Miami Heat for making it to the NBA Finals. The third and last thing I think is going to be a key element is the home court. And there's 2 things I'm going to talk about on this. The home court. Number 1, Denver's got the home court advantage. Okay? And Denver, not only are they well rested, and Miami legs are going, but Denver has high altitude. All right, that was what hurt the Lakers. Is late in the game, the Lakers looked extremely tired. Denver likes to run. They run and gun like their high school team. And it plays very well into their hands because they're used to that high altitude. Miami is not going to be used to that altitude. And Miami likes to run too. But that is going to be a big factor. If there's 4 games in Denver, then I'm giving the advantage to the Denver Nuggets. All 4 games. I don't care what type of momentum Miami's got. All 4 games, Denver will have the advantage just because of the high altitude, and Miami is not going to be able to be used to. They're not used to it. They're not going to be able to deal with it. But on top of that, so Denver has not lost a home game in the playoffs. Now, I know you're going to say, "Oh man, Nate," but Miami is a really good road team. They are. They are a really good road team. And what really sucks is they're not a very good home team where they need to be home, where they need to have an advantage. And as I stated just a second ago, that altitude is going to play a big difference in this game. And if you don't have an advantage as as a team in anywhere, whether it be on the road or at home, then your chances of winning has gone down. So Denver has not lost at home. They've actually only lost 2 road games in the 3 series. They swept or they yeah they swept Memphis. They swept Memphis and the Lakers, and then they lost to Phoenix. They lost 2 games to Phoenix, and so they've only lost 2 road games and haven't lost at home. Advantage Denver because Miami doesn't have they're not a good home team. They're a good road team, but they're not going to be a good road team in the high altitude. So so here's the thing. Who is old man Nate picking? Well, I think you already know the team I'm picking. How many games? So Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat have fought hard, really hard. And I'll even give them an advantage in the coaching. Spolstra, Spolstra is a great coach. People didn't like him when he first got into coaching because he never coached. He was just hired by Pat Riley out of the back office somewhere. But he's done a great job. Pat Riley molded him into the type of coach he wanted, and he's became a great coach. And so I will give Miami the advantage in that. And it'll be interesting to see what he does. But I still think Denver's going to be too much. Too much for Jimmy Butler, too much for Adebayo, too much for Spolstra. So I'm picking the Denver Nuggets in 5 games. That's right. Denver in 5. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sweep. The only reason I'm not picking it a sweep is because Spolstra, for one, I think he'll do good enough to get 1 home game. And then also, we know that there's money involved. You know, the NBA don't want a sweep. It looks bad. 5 really also looks bad. 6 or 7, what you really want. But I just think Denver's too much, and Denver's that good. So Denver in 5. So if you haven't already, first of all, I want to thank everybody who watches and subscribes to Old Man Nate and Old Man Sports Talk. We really appreciate you and all your support. But if you haven't already and you're watching this show, please take the time to like and subscribe and ring the bell. So that way you get notified when Old Man Nate is going live or dropping a show. And then also, you can go to oldmancoffee.shop and pick you up some coffee. We got 47 different flavors in grinds and in K-Cups. You can also find on there some tumblers to drink your coffee in. We got 2 different sizes. We got 3 or 4 different colors. All right? And support Old Man Nate with an Old Man Sports Talk shirt. We got several colors in black, blue, red, white, gray, and all different types of sizes. So go on there and support Old Man Nate at oldmancoffee.shop. Once again, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to watch this show. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of my predictions in the last round. Tell me what you think of my prediction going to be this round. You know, good or bad. Let me know how you feel, and I'll respond to all the comments. Until then, we'll see you next time.